Woo woo!
Hello.
Hey everybody, we're back. Chef Chris, Sam Ed. We're doing a virtual wine tasting for those of you that can't be here in person at Old North State Winery. We do it every Thursday right here in downtown Mount Airy. You may hear during this video the rattling and shaking of bottles as our team is bottling right outside of our door here. We are down in the cellar. And it's exciting times. We got the Riesling going out.
Riesling and both red and white muscadine and the red blend.
Yeah,
so the vinifera.
The Old North State wines continue to flourish. We're really excited about all that. And while we continue to make delicious wines, we also want to discover wines from around the world so we understand why the wines of the Yadkin Valley are special, because every place is special, and we intend to explore that together. We do it every Thursday at 6 p.m. right here in our cellar. We do 4 wines, but if you'd like to do a virtual tasting, well, you'd be having these 2 bottles. Let me see if I can get the label right. You'd be having these 2 and delicious taste of food that Chef will send along with it so you can watch the video. Of course, we do appreciate any support you can give these wineries that we are showcasing, because these are wines that we have vetted. We have been through hundreds, if not thousands, of wines before we do these videos, and we want to make sure that you're getting great value, whether it's at the $15 or $25 or $40 value, whatever it is. We want great value at that
whatever
price.
that price for.
And these are just that. So they're also, they have they have their own story. We're going to start off here with a beautiful Malbec from the Andes Mountains. Just in the shadow there in Mendoza. And what we have here is a delicious Malbec from Renacer. And this is their Punto Final. And this is a blend of Malbecs, so it is 100% Malbec, but of different parcels that they own. And the vines are on average over 50 years, some of them 70 years old, which gives us a little bit less production in terms of grape juice, but gives us concentration in terms of flavor. Also with these, the proximity to the Andes, lots of cool air coming down at night, so they're still getting lots of sunshine during the day. Remember, Argentina might get maybe 8 inches of rain max a year, or in the Mendoza area. So really concentrated flavors because of the low rainfall. Of course, they do irrigate. There's plenty of alluvial streams to harvest water to give the vines the water they need, but no additional or extra water. So you want vines to kind of struggle a little bit in the water and mineral department, for that matter, or nutrients rather. So with that being said, Chef, have you dove in already?
Yeah, I'm afraid I have.
Isn't that pretty?
The color's gorgeous, the nose is gorgeous, and it's a lot softer than I thought it would be. Not that it doesn't have a little grip to it, but love the soft fruit on this. Really, really, really nice.
Those older vines really do give you a softer mouthfeel,
very supple,
silky maybe,
yeah, absolutely,
plush. All those superlatives that we like to hear when we're drinking a silky red. This is a red that, because of its texture, I believe it makes it even more versatile for food. Because it's not grippy tannins. It does have a good amount of acidity here, but it's well integrated. I would not call this, the acidity's not driving it. Very fruit driven. Fruit driven.
But I love that little grip on the end, even with its silkiness. It's a nice wine.
Lots of dark fruit here. Even a little bit dried, I'd say. A little bit dried fruit.
A little bit on the edge there.
Maybe a little dried blueberry
peels,
kind of thing.
like dried peels.
Yep. And, it's just one of these quaffable wines, I would say. Under $20, just really ready to drink now. This is a 2021. I've found them to be very consistent. We featured this maybe 3 or 4 years ago at our tasting. I don't think that was before we were doing our videos rather. And I just wanted to circle back around, a new vintage. Of course, remember 2021 beans was probably harvested in February in Argentina. So we're here now in the spring of 2023. So this was about 2 years ago the grapes were picked.
It does not taste like it. It tastes like a much more aged wine.
Yeah, it has a sophistication to it.
It does.
It's like an old soul, Chef.
Absolutely.
You know, it's an old soul.
So it's like the Ed Malbec.
Right. Yeah, but it probably doesn't act as goofy as I do.
We just opened it. We don't know.
I bet this wine will make me goofy.
I guarantee it.
We got real goofy last night at the Burgundy dinner, didn't we? It was fun.
It was fun. It was a fun dinner. It was a great crowd, and
we drank.
We drank Burgundy.
We ate, drank, and boy, the food was insanely good, Chef. I like the way that we were able to achieve a $200 dinner for $80.
The value, which, you know, Burgundy and value don't go hand in hand.
Not typically.
And it was a shocking price points for wines of that caliber. I mean, I can't believe it.
The Albert Michaud portfolio is what we were featuring. We had Cremant, we had Chardonnays, Pinots, Gamay, and you know, we sold just shy of 100 bottles, and that was with only 30 people. So I was really pleased with
They were
bottles.
well received.
And a lot of those bottles were on reserve lists that weren't even tasted that night. Just their reputation precedes them.
Well, when you get to taste that portfolio in the dinner, you know there's nothing coming out of left field.
Right.
Like that's a world-class operation, and their wines are clearly very, very well put together, and you know that it's only going to get better further down the list.
Absolutely. So we're still kind of in the fuzz of last night a little bit. It's early. This is early Wednesday, and we're still kind of licking our wounds from that wonderful evening. There was a lot to do, setup wise, breaking back down, resetting the restaurant, putting it back together. We were fortunate enough to have some beverages with our favorite advanced somm there, Julia Hunt and her husband.
They were great
Martin.
to get the chance to visit with. Yeah.
Yep. And so we got to hang out with a chef and a somm afterwards, and kind of, you know, talk a little bit about restaurant life. It was fantastic. Of course, meeting all these people, all the customers that we had. That was a lot of fun too. I feel like everybody had fun. I mean, people were dancing and singing.
And he had them fired up.
Yeah. So that would be, I would consider that a success. Now, Chef, we're gonna. I know I like to kind of take us completely off track, but before we move on any further from our beautiful Malbec from Renacer, what kind of food do you think you're going to be pairing this with?
Yeah, we'd go a lot of different directions with this, couldn't we?
Yeah, incredibly versatile as a wine.
The I'm thinking about some sort of glazed or lacquered salmon with this.
Yeah.
Just because I want to introduce the seafood, even though we're having two reds.
Yeah.
And some of that beautiful fatty salmon, but give it something a little more sturdy on it that will kind of give some clingability to that salmon and give it a little punch up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
this is so fruity.
Of course, I get put on the spot here. I try these wines for the first time. You've already done it.
Yeah, this wine is so fruity that it almost gives you a perception of sweetness. It's bone dry.
Yes, and I think some sort of herbalized honey or some soy maybe with that.
Yeah. We'll see what you have. It'll be a nice little surprise for you in your pickup packs.
But that's what I'm leaning towards.
Yeah. And of course, you know, just in general, I will say this, that Malbec is so versatile. This one is even more so because, like I said, it is so plush, and the tannins and acidity aren't overbearing. They're just really well in balance. And so that makes it great with all kinds of food. You know, a lot of people don't think about Malbec with Italian food, but it works wonderfully.
It'd be great with some pasta.
Yeah, the tomatoes, I always find they're a nice ripe tomato. You know, they always say that tomatoes are hard to pair, and but you have something fruity and sweet, well, that would work right there. Of course, burgers are always a great way. Any kind of grilled meats for Malbec. Mushrooms, I think, are always good with that. It's particularly.
Well, maybe we'll circle around back around after we try that, because maybe we could do. I certainly have some beautiful King Trumpet mushrooms in right now. Maybe that, a little tortellini and red sauce.
Yeah, I think this works great. I think this will work great with salmon. I mean, has a lot of similarity. It's almost like a really, really, really big. I mean, like a John Norman's peanut. Because peanut is so fruity and silky, and this is not a Pinot. Don't get me wrong.
It's coming in at 13.5. It's not not a ton of alcohol, so it's not drinking big.
Yeah. One of the discussions we had last night about pairing was, the higher the alcohol that a wine has, the harder it is to pair with food.
Yeah. Because
the alcohol will overpower things. And so this being only 13.5% alcohol makes it, again, more pairable than many wines in its same kind of genre. So kudos to this winery for giving us a wine that we can really enjoy with a myriad of things. Of course, a blue cheese here too.
Yeah, I was. And last week, I think on the video, I mentioned the smoked goat. But I ended up putting the chocolate lab in the boxes.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll try to get that right this week. This would be great with some smoked goat.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of options. So you may end up with more than a few bites. You might end up with 4 bites just to see how it goes.
Yes. So, now it's that delicious.
Yeah, it keeps getting better. Boy, it's really getting full.
Yes.
Now
the tannins do build on that.
The air is getting to it, and it's really starting to.
The tannins build. They're very sneaky.
You want to revisit this in a few minutes.
Sneaky in a very good way. So now we are going to go to another single varietal, aglianico. One of my favorite grapes. This is considered.
This is one of your favorites.
Yeah, this is the. It is considered a noble grape in Italy. It is. You have Nebbiolo and Sangiovese in the north, and Aglianico in the south of Italy that are considered noble grapes. At least that's what I've been told. Until I go there, I won't know for sure, which I plan on doing next month.
You'll have to give us the full report.
But first, we go to Portugal.
God, what a jet-setting life you have.
I'm telling you, man. They should be. Maybe I'll be the lead character in some motion picture where they depict my jet-setting life.
Jet-setting life. We have to hire a team to follow you around the world. Document your many adventures.
Well, that adventure this past weekend, seeing my brother marry his bride, Melissa, was quite an adventure. Hey, happy birthday, Dad. Happy birthday. It's March the 8th.
Happy.
I got to see Dad dancing with not only his beautiful wife, my stepmother Elizabeth, but also tried to steal my girlfriend.
He was having
dancing
probably more success than you're comfortable with.
He was really showcasing his moves. So
you get it honest.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I can't help myself, right? So this is from La Capranera, and this is a producer of delicious, and I would say indigenous grapes of Italy. We've had their Falanginia before. I believe we did not do a video on that, but we did have it here in person at one of the tastings. And it was a really interesting version of that grape. We've done a few of those over the years, and Chef and I tend to have that grape pop up at on our chef's tables with the food pairings and stuff. And the same for Aglianico, for that matter. This is a grape that I always have a difficult time selling on wine list.
It's an intimidating word to kind of belt out to a server if you're not comfortable. Agreed.
And I think people make safe bets. They usually order wine that they're familiar with, and they don't take chances. But this would be a case for that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to educate everybody on grapes so they are more comfortable ordering these grapes when they see them out. If they can't find this exact producer, maybe they order Aglianico from someone else. So this is the 2021, okay? And it is from Campania. Now, remember, this is in the southern part of Italy. And we're bringing in here, Chef, This is a 14%er, and you remember 14% is that threshold for taxes. So oftentimes I'm always curious to see if it's really 14%, and I'm gonna trust my trusty palate.
I'm gonna listen to you.
Great nose here, and of course Aglianico is a very dark grape compared to Sangiovese or Nebbiolo, which I think it makes it desirable. Now it's still, you can still see through it, but it is much more on the darker side of purple notes rather than the brickish red that you expect from the other.
Yeah, in the southern part of Italy, you're gonna be a little warmer, and they're gonna get a little more riper. Probably give you some better color, even beyond the varietal characteristics.
Yes, when I tasted through this portfolio, I was really super impressed with the quality. Again, we're under $20, unbelievable quality for the price. This for an Aglianico, I feel like is somewhat soft. You know, so it's a great wine to get the softer side of Aglianico, because Aglianico can be quite aggressive and dark and tannic, depending on who's producing it. This is more of a fresher, fun, heart, kind of easy breezy, I guess.
It's a lot leaner than the Malbec, but the fruit is not. I mean, it's got great fruit on it. A little redder on this, of course, instead of the dark. But
there's a richness that I always get from Aglianico, even in the light versions. So for me, the flavor really piles up in the center of my tongue on this. It really seems to like dig in, like really root itself into my tongue and really get hold of my taste buds.
It lingers for sure.
And the tannins are very, very subtle. This was not oaked. So it is great tannins that you're going to experience here. But what a fun wine here again. Basically the same kind of pairability that this Malbec has. And if you like Malbec, this is a great Italian, I'm not going to say it's in the same ballpark probably. The thing about Sangiovese and Nebbiolo, the tannins can be quite gripping, and it's a little bit softer tannic wise in the southern part of Italy, and because of that, when you're in a warmer climate, you tend to want less tannins. That's a gross stereotype there. Don't pick that one apart for me, but generally speaking, less tannic wines in hotter environments in terms of what people want to drink. You want things to be a little more refreshing because it's hot and you're thirsty, but if you still want those red flavors, you're probably not going to oak your wines because they're not super refreshing when they're super tannic. You still need a glass of water right beside it. We've talked about this before.
All the time, yeah.
Now, some of these wines that we get into, which are delicious, but you need a glass of water beside it.
You're not diluting the flavor, but you're certainly diluting your palate because it does get coated. I mean, these big wines, you're really having to do some work to keep it off of that staying power.
I'm getting so much blueberry on this. It's freaking awesome. Love it. Just like really, really fresh blueberries. Like Chef said, there is certainly some red fruit in here as well. That makes for a great balance. This little fruit cocktail that we got going on here.
Well, certainly blues being on the lighter side of dark fruit. So you're kind of at the precipice there where they're both kind of harmonious. This is a great wine. I mean, especially as it rests a little bit. I mean, it's really starting to bloom on the inside. This is nice.
This would also be great with any kind of pasta, I would believe. Again, you could also, if you think about the proximity to the ocean, this is going to work with seafood. As most things that grow together go together kind of thing. When we think of coastal wines, red coastal wines.
Red coastal wines, right, yeah, you bet.
Yeah. There's certainly plenty of ideas that we could come up here. I would say cheeses galore, mushrooms again, vegetables, like even, I was thinking, this is kind of weird. It's more Provence, I was thinking more like ratatouille with this.
Oh,
eggplant,
eggplant,
and squash zucchini kind of thing. I think that would be wonderful. Yeah, Chef, we're
The
here
garlic
now.
would be
Now
good.
that we're here in March, yeah, garlic. Now we're here in March. You know, I'm starting to get spring fever a little bit.
Oh, big time. I had to really talk myself down this week to not plant anything, but I do have all my seeds ready. And
It's supposed to freeze next week, I think.
Yeah, it is. And so, but still, you don't think about that when it's 80
Yeah.
and the sun's shining, and you know my whole yard is blooming with the wild flowers.
Yeah.
And all those things. So I got a lot of purple flowers, a lot of yellow flowers that are up, and dandelions, of course, starting to come up. And I'm trying not to mow so that the bees can get on there.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to wait as long as I can before I
Yeah.
get a nasty letter. To let the pollen out. So there was a lot of bees out the other day on the yard flowers. So
Mom's weeping cherry trees are all in full bloom, and I went to check on her house. It was so loud from all the bees.
All the bees.
Yeah.
Stay off the ladder though.
I did not get on the ladder
But
this time.
but yeah, I don't want to try to hose it down too soon. Let them get their start to the year.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, when I was at Dad's in Fayetteville, you know, there was 2 weeks ago. It was a week and a half ago.
Yeah, a week and a half ago, yeah.
I mean, all the bees were working hard on his blueberry bushes and stuff.
I love it.
So they're out.
They're doing their job.
Well, Chef, what kind of food do you think you would like to pair with this beautiful aglianico?
Well, I guess, like I said, you're going to end up probably with more food than we normally do. Like I said, I kind of had something in my head. We're going to reverse it because I'm going to do the smoked brisket.
Okay.
But I think it would probably be better with the Malbec now that we're thinking about it, because this I think is going to do better. I think we're going to do a little pasta and salmon, and I'm going to throw some cheese in there. So you really have about 4 bites instead of 2. But you can kind of mix and match and try some of the things. So.
That'd be beautiful. We do love our reds with seafood, so whenever we can do that, we do. But we also love our reds with all the other foods too.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
We're not ever trying to force the square peg into the round hole. We're just throwing out ideas more than anything.
Exactly, and you can't go wrong. I mean, you have to really, like, in terms of being at home, just you open wine with dinner. Sometimes it's a home run. Sometimes it's still darn good, even if it's not the perfect pairing. I mean, it's just you don't want to go too crazy with some of your menu ideas, but your average things in your rotation, most middle of the road reds like this that aren't super alcoholic or crazy. I mean, they're going to go well with the normal cuisine.
Agreed.
Unless, like I said, you're doing something really out there, but beef, chicken, and pasta, cheese, those are the kind of things.
Roasted chicken, I think, would be lovely.
I would say with this especially, chicken would be lovely. Yeah. A little herb and honey on that would be great.
Yeah.
Some hearty greens underneath it. I'm getting hungry.
Well, last Thursday we had that big Catania tasting. That was a big success. We had the big Burgundy dinner on Tuesday. We've been doing chef's tables left and right. We've been doing prefix meals.
There's a lot of prefixes coming up.
This weekend, Friday and Saturday. For those of you that don't know, we do a 5-course wine pairing meal at your table on the weekends. That's been great. And we're looking at modifying some things.
Tossing that ball around,
It won't be long before we're changing things up again. It's what we like to do. We did about 1.5 years of our format, so we've been doing with the chef's table. We're about to maybe change it one more time. We were certainly, looking and listening. Looking at the numbers of how many people are doing what, and then listening to our customers and wanting to do what they want to do. Like they want to do high-end tastings, we did that. Wanting to do chef table lunches, we do that. Wanting to do chef tables on non-weekend days, we did that. And wanting to offer shorter chef tables, we've done that. Yeah. So we're doing all the things that our customers are asking for.
We're being reactive.
We're proactive in some ways.
We try to get out in front of it.
Yeah.
But I think it's important that we keep our ears open. Beyond the things that we want to do, making sure we're being good stewards of the people who are taking care of us.
And because of that, we'd like for you to make any kind of comments you'd like in these videos, just so we can hear if there's any events that you're looking for to join us here at the Old North State Winery, or perhaps if there's some grapes you'd like us to review. Is there something we're missing out? Was there, I want I don't know, Pinot Bianco, and I would love for you to do a video on that. Please, put that in the comments. We'd love to follow through with you on that and maybe taste something that Chef Chris and I maybe haven't even tasted yet.
Oh, that would be fun. We would love that. We would love to do that. Some commission tastings.
That's right. So busy times here, but we don't stop from finding those great values. And with everything that's been going on the last couple of weeks, we're not slouching. We are not coasting. We are still out there grinding away, finding wines for you to enjoy at very reasonable prices.
Two home runs again.
You can feel confident buying 6-packs or 12-packs rather than a bottle or two of these, because the prices are so.
Yeah, I mean,
especially in an economy that just inflation's through the roof, we're still finding
no end
great
in sight.
value out there.
Yeah, and this is great too, because these at these prices, weeknights, weekends are elegant enough for weekends, are great car wines too.
Yeah, absolutely. I get that one all the time. All right, kids, we appreciate all your love and support out there, and we look forward to seeing you real soon. I guess next week, Chef, St. Patrick's Day. Should we just do a green beer instead of wine?
I just think we ought to put some green food coloring in the wine.
We'll do that. And then
we should have a toast with green beer, and then
let's not screw it up too bad. But then we're heading to Portugal after that, so
we'll have to figure out
something.
We're gonna do something from over there, over yonder.
Yeah, that's the goal, and if we can do that, keep your eyes peeled for that. But anyway, let's focus on this week. Enjoy this beautiful Malbec and beautiful aglianico, 2 reds that are just soft, fruit packed, light tannins, but important tannins, great acidity. Great food wines. Hey, let's do it again next week.
I love it. That's great.
Catch you next time.
Thank y'all. We'll see you soon.